Chapter 19. Ellie. I can't get enough of him. Every time we get together, I can't keep my hands off him. He loves when I run my fingers through his hair. When we're resting in between sessions of mind-blowing sex, he likes to rest his head on my chest and draw little patterns with featherlight fingers on my breasts and stomach. We meet every Sunday, either at his place or mine. If I'm not working right after dance class on Saturday, we go somewhere and have sex. Once he drove us to a remote parking spot, and we had sex in the backseat of his car. That was the first time we did it without a condom. We both got tested and I'm on the pill. It was still scary, but so much hotter. There was no reason for it to be erotic, but perhaps it was the extra bit of trust that developed between us. We've started watching the movie together every week, and it often gives us some time alone. But when we watch it, we don't sit next to each other. In public, we barely speak. And when we do, we often argue. He's still arrogant and self-centered. But I've seen the more caring side of him. He's generous in bed and grateful when I reciprocate. He never expects things of me or demands. And perhaps our open communication is one reason I keep having so many orgasms. Dance class is going well. We've found out how well our bodies can work together, and it shows when we dance. But I do my best to keep the distance between us. I told him when we started this that I don't want a relationship, and that still stands. It's Wednesday, and I'm done with classes for the day. As usual, Jenna is waiting for me at Dirty. Sometimes Julian is there as well. I huddle in my jacket when I get there and look around. I'm only looking for Jenna, so it takes me a while to spot her at one of the booths. She's not alone. Julian is there, sitting next to her. Two people are sitting opposite them, and my heart almost stops when I see Dee and Mia. Mia is sitting way too close to Dee, hanging on to every word he says. I wave at Jenna and gesture to let her know I'm getting in line. Dee sits up and looks around. He spots me and I turn away quickly. We had the talk about being exclusive, and I can't imagine him sleeping with Mia without telling me. It's the way she's claiming him that bugs me. She acts as if he's her property. It's happened before when she comes to visit. Usually, Dee tries to stay away from her, and it's amusing to watch her chase after him. But they're sitting so close and he's not pushing her away. I get a coffee and a yogurt bowl and join them. I have the choice of sitting next to Julian or Mia. It takes me much too long to decide, and Julian makes room for me, deciding for me. How was class? Jenna asks. Did you get your assignments back? We did. I open the yogurt bowl. And? I know you worked on it for weeks. How did it go? I glance up at Dee, he's suppressing a smirk. Some of that work was actually time spent with him. It went well. I got 98. That's so good. Jenna is truly excited for me, and I instantly feel bad for lying to her. Dee is also really smart, Mia says and places a hand on his shoulder. He'll be running his dad's company in no time. I focus on my food. What kind of company is it? Jenna asks. Investments. Dee has his phone out and the conversation dies. Yogurt is taking over my life, Julian laughs to break the awkward silence. I keep seeing Ellie eat it, and it's turned up in our fridge at home. I guess someone's on a health kick. I try not to stiffen next to him. Dee bought that yogurt. And I think he got it for me. It happened a couple of weeks ago. We were resting after an intense session and he went downstairs. When he returned, he had water and yogurt with him. I thought little of it, just that he must have noticed how much I like it. My phone buzzes in my pocket, and I meet Dee's eyes. I know the message is from him. But I don't take my phone out. Why are you on your phone again? Mia asks. Julian, tell him it's rude to ignore us. Julian shrugs. Who are you texting anyway? Mia leans in to see his screen, but he flips the phone over on the table. No one. I'm so glad Julian prefers to call, Mia sighs. His texts are indecipherable. Hey, Julian protests, but he doesn't look too upset. It's true. They're a mix of abbreviations that no one can make out, and emotes, mixed in with spelling errors and missing words. I can't tell you how many times I've gotten texts that are basically just a string of random letters. I have no patience for texting, Julian shrugs. And why would I when I can just call someone and talk to them? Jen is the same way, I say. But her texts are meticulously crafted with em dashes and semicolons. At least the few times D texts someone, it's full sentences. I mean, he could spice it up with a gif here and there. And I don't think I've ever seen him use an emoticon. But at least his messages are understandable. Just very boring. I try not to look like my ears perked up. D sends me plenty of images and gifs. And his texts are far from boring. Maybe it's because the only person he ever texts is his grandmother, Mia goes on. D is drinking his coffee and seems unaffected by the conversation. I'm sure he texts women to hook up all the time, I say. D is scowling now. He reaches for his phone and starts typing something. I feel my phone buzz again, but I wait until the conversation has moved on before I check it. The first text is asking me if I want to meet him in the bathroom, so he can check if I'm wearing a bra. I try to keep myself from blushing at the thought. I want to drag him into the bathroom and do things to him. The second message has a different tone. I haven't texted anyone to hook up since I met you. Only you. I stare at the words. There's too much going on. The yogurt. The gifts. And now he feels he has to reassure me he's not sleeping with anyone else. This is just sex. He's not the type of man I want anything more with. But are we crossing some kind of line? I can't look at him. I don't want to know if it means we have to end this. Because I don't want a relationship. We should get going, Julian says. Right. D makes a move and Mia gets up from her seat. When she turns, her face lights up. Oh my God. Victor. Is that really you? I'm standing next to the seat to let Julian out when I spot him. The man walking over to us with a charming smile on his face and a coffee in his hand is beautiful. He has high cheekbones and full lips. His dirty blonde hair is just tousled enough to give it life. He's wearing a black coat that looks like it costs more than a car, and he moves with an elegance that's hard to look away from. Mia, how are you? He embraces her, but when he spots D, his smile fades. It's been so long. Oh, Julian is here, and D, and this is Jenna. She's Julian's girlfriend. And her friend Ellie. He avoids looking at D, and barely acknowledges Julian. It's nice to meet you, he tells Jenna. Then his eyes land on me, and I can see them light up. And you, well, I'm suddenly thrilled I walked in here. So you're not happy to see me? Mia swats his arm, but she's smiling. Of course, kitten. You know that. We should catch up soon, Julian says as he gets up. We were just leaving. You should come to Noah's birthday party on Friday. You have my number, right? Sure. Are you all leaving? I still have some coffee left. We're staying a while, I say. Do you want to join us? It must be my imagination, but I think I feel D hesitate. As if he doesn't want to leave. I'd love to. I'm new to uni and I could use some friends here. He slides into the seat D just left. Good seeing you again, Julian says as the three of them leave the coffee shop. So, did you just transfer here? Jenna asks. He takes a sip of his coffee. So what do you study? His eyes bore into mine. I'm a finance major, and Jenna studies photography. Finance, that's such a serious subject. Tell me, do you study hard and party hard, or is it mostly just studying? I laugh a little. I like to party. Maybe not hard. But we go out. You'll have to tell me where all the good parties are then. As we talk, I wonder if this is exactly what I need. Something to distract me from D. If things are getting too serious, then maybe we need to take a step back. Maybe exclusivity was a mistake. Either way, Victor seems to be more than willing to help me figure that out.